Hi, how are things going? This is Sarah from the Serenity Reiki Clinic, and it's that time again. It's time for Ask a Reiki Master Teacher. So I have gotten some pretty good questions this week. And of course, this is not medical or financial advice, of course. This is just me sharing with you my personal experience and adventures and what I've witnessed over the last 10 plus years doing Reiki sessions and teaching Reiki classes all over the world. This week, I was asked, how long does it take to learn Reiki? Which is a really good question. If you've been reading about Reiki online, then you know that can really vary depending on the teacher, the format of the classes, and the type of Reiki. So it's not an easy question. I mean, I don't want to bash anybody who basically does it in a couple of hours. But on the other hand, that wouldn't work for me. It just wouldn't work for me. As I've said before, anybody can learn Reiki, okay? And everybody should learn Reiki, okay? It's usually taught in levels which require time between to practice and become used to the energy, and fluid in everything from the terms to actually having the experience of treating other people and feeling the difference in balanced energy versus illness and such. So it usually takes at least 2 full 8 to 10 hour days to teach a Reiki level 1. I personally require the students to wait at least 6 months before they take level 2. Level 2 takes a full week, and that's fast paced. I mean, that's 5 plus days, and that's long days to get it done because there's just so much in level 2. And it's the most fun too. I think level 2 is really a lot of fun. We study crystals, long distance healing, and mental emotional healing, and some other things that are really interesting concepts if you're not used to working with energy. So you're really pushing yourself to get a lot done in that time. And it's also the emotional, mental part of healing with Reiki too. So that's a lot. It's a lot of information. Each Reiki level also includes a different energy attunement. So you kind of get the idea. I've seen people offer to teach 3 levels in a weekend course. But that's not how I was taught, and that's not the way that I teach. And for me, it's not beneficial. I like to have time with the students to gauge where they are. People are at different places on their path. Some people are very knowledgeable about energy. They do other type of energy work. They understand the chakras. Maybe they also have a background in, say, crystal healing, so they're already very sensitive to energy and the way energy healing works coming into the class. And of course, then there's other folks who, have never heard of these concepts or had any experience with it. So you want to make sure that they don't get lost, they don't get left behind. And of course, it's no judgment whatsoever. It just depends on where you are on your path. But definitely, if you're just starting out, you might be really hard pressed to get everything done in 8 hours. And Reiki 1 is generally about healing yourself and allowing the energy to work on you from the inside out. But still, it's a lot of concepts and it can be overwhelming. I like to cover the different aspects of everything from auras to the meridians to how it feels when somebody is ungrounded. So, yeah, it really varies. I actually teach traditional Reiki plus multicultural healing. So that's why my classes are just a tad bit different. I include healing tips and ideas that I have learned while traveling around. I've been really blessed to be able to have these experiences and to learn from people all over the world. I'm always excited to share these things with my students as well. Thank you, thank you to all my teachers and all to the people that have shared their knowledge with me in France and Norway and England, Scotland, all those wonderful magical places, Mexico, the list goes on and on. So minimum for me, I could teach a Reiki 1 class, yes, in the course of a weekend. I could not go Reiki 1, 2, 3, a master level, or anything above that in a weekend. No. And also, be mindful if you're thinking about taking a Reiki class and you're looking for a Reiki teacher. Find somebody that resonates with you. Ask them how long they've been doing Reiki and how much Reiki they've done in their lifetime. They don't have to be an extremely experienced teacher. There are some really fabulous teachers out there that have only been teaching a year, okay? But you want to make sure that they do have hands-on experience doing Reiki sessions so that they can give you that point of view and that personal experience. So take your time and talk to people, ask them questions, ask the teachers different questions, including how much self-Reiki they do. And find the person that resonates with you, that you feel is both knowledgeable and somebody that also practices Reiki. It's one of those things too with the teachers. Personally, I don't teach that much Reiki because I do lots of sessions. I teach Reiki classes a couple of times a year because of that, because most of the time I'm doing sessions. On the other hand, there's a lot of teachers who rarely complete any healing sessions. All they do is teach. And it's no judgment, but the more personal experience you have doing these sessions, the more you can bring forward as a teacher. Or at least that's how I feel. That's just my opinion, okay? So, okay, I hope that answered that question. Another interesting question I got asked this week is, what is the oddest animal you've ever treated? And that's a good one, but let's see. What do you consider odd? I don't know. If I think about it, I've treated, let's see, cattle, of course, and prize winning cattle as well as, farm cattle. Buffalo. I've treated an ostrich, rabbits, llamas, of course, yeah. I really love llamas. What else have I treated? Racehorses, mules, goats, chickens, dogs, cats, of course, snakes, lizards. I don't know, So what do you consider weird? Squirrel. Yeah, let's see what else. I guess that's fish. Yeah, I've done fish. Mm. I have done turtles. Yeah, birds, of course. Frogs, tarantulas. I already said lizards. I did a dolphin, but it wasn't professional. Long story there. Yeah, so pretty much across the board. Do the animals feel different? Yes, of course they do. Just like people feel different, different people feel different animals feel different. And obviously these creatures did not all come into the clinic. I do make house calls out to barns and different places around the country, but a lot of them were just brought in. Yeah. I enjoy treating animals. I like it a lot, but I love animals too. I found when I'm treating animals, it's one of those things too that most of the time the animals will be very receptive to it. When they're not, you don't push it and you call it a day. But yeah. So that was a good question. Thanks. Let's see, I think we have time for one more. Let's see what else is in the inbox. I was also asked this week, if you learn Reiki, could you treat yourself? And of course, the answer is yes, definitely. The best thing about learning and becoming attuned to Reiki is, of course, the energy is always within you, working on you from the inside out. Usually, after the attunement, we start an internal cleansing and detox, and that's why I wrote the Reiki detox book, which, plug my book, put a picture up, right? Which to help you, get the most out of that detox. In Reiki 1, especially when you're being first attuned and really, the energy starts working, it can be a very trying time, but it's also a very liberating time because you are cleaning out, a lifetime of gunk out of you. And it's fascinating. And actually, that's why so many people do take Reiki classes, is not so they can treat other people, but so that they can treat themselves. Okay, there were some really great questions this week. Thanks a lot. If you have a question for me, a question about Reiki or anything that we cover at Serenity, then you can leave it in the comment section below, or you can email it to me at the Serenity Reiki Clinic. And once again, if you haven't, please subscribe so you can keep up with everything going on at the clinic. The next video should be out shortly. I look forward to speaking with you. Take care and Reiki blessings. Bye-bye.